It's the middle of the month, and of course, I'm just not putting out my Plan With Me video. Hey, y'all, and welcome to October. So, this month, I'm doing my desert blooms. I actually had several ideas over the course of September, but I never wrote them down, so I would forget the ideas and come up with new ideas. And then by the time October got here, I said, "Hey sis, you gotta do something." So I took out one of the paper pads on my desk and said, "This is it. I'm going to do the motif from this paper pad." And this is honestly a great idea if you have paper pads and you just don't have any inspiration. Grab one of them paper pads and figure out, kind of the motifs and all the different drawings that are in there and just put that in your journal. Life hack right there. This October is really taking me because there's just been a lot going on. We all know what's going on in the news and whatnot. So, yes, that plays a part. And then this is the part of the year where just everything in its mama decides that it wants all of your attention, as in, the kids going to school, the job wants to do all this stuff, lawn maintenance, car maintenance, everything that needs maintenance, the maintenance on the maintenance, the tools need this, you gotta sand this, you gotta plant this, you got just everything. And October is super busy, but it gets like this for me every year, so it's not overtaking me. It's just not giving me the time to do my journal like I normally want to. So why did I not do August and September? Pretty much for the same reasons. I had to make sure, like, I actually did those videos. I have them recorded. I just have not had time to turn them into videos, but I will soon. So when you see an August video in the middle of November, don't say nothing. Just enjoy it. Like, bombastic side eye. Because I am determined to get these videos out. I told myself at the beginning of the year that I was going to have a video for every month, and I will have a video for every month. I just didn't know if I was going to have the video in the right month, if you catch what I'm saying. But anyway, I'm just using my Tombows and I'm drawing these plants. In the Desert Blooms paper pad, there were just a bunch of like small plants, cacti, this little rectangle square motif thing in different colors. I will say I like the paper pad. I like what was in it, but I was disappointed with the number of pages that were just a color. I have done a flip through, and you should see that on my channel. It should be like either right before this video or right after this video, but it's the Desert Blooms paper pad flip through, and I was kind of disappointed with the number of just blank pages that were like a color. Like there was a mint green in there, and it was just barely mint, and it was there. I guess that's great. Maybe it's a great paper pad for somebody who does artwork when they do their scrapbooking, because I feel like that's about all that you could do with it. So I'm starting off this setup by doing or building out my cover page. I like to do a cover page for each month because it helps separate the month and helps me kind of organize my thoughts for the month. No other reason than that. So, and I think it's just pretty. My journal for me is my creative outlet when I can be very analytical. So for me, this gives my mind the room to just do something different and be something different so that I can work more effectively at being analytical, and so that I can be more effective at being creative. It's all about creating balance, and that's what this is for me. So, and like I said, because this is getting towards the end of the year and I'm, running out of a lot of free time, I'm going to start letting like some of the papers do the heavy lifting for me. So I glued a piece of one of the papers from the paper pad in the back so that you can see all the decoration kind of peeping through, and it'll help my journal actually open up. That little bit of extra thickness on that page will help my journal open up to October. So going on to my calendar page, this is always one of my most important spreads for the month. And that's simply because all the appointments and all the things that I need to remember are here. So you can see where I penciled in all the little lines, and I'm giving it a little slight wash. So it's just a very weak color to match with the very weak colors that are in the paper pad. I don't think this color is necessarily in the paper pad, but I just like using it. And this is really just one Tombow marker. This is one way that you can use your markers to kind of look like multiple colors, because I am using the felt tip to do these lines. I actually scribbled a little bit of the ink and mixed it with water and used my watercolor brush to paint the rest of the page, and you see what it looks like. So keep that in mind when you are planning out your color schemes, because I know for me, I will bring my markers out with me, and using my colors like this will help me from having to bring a bunch of markers out. So I'm writing in October. I wrote it in with orange and just doing this little black part. I was gonna do that with a black Tombow, but I will say the Fude no Suke pens, I know I tore that up, but those pens are a lot blacker and they just give a much better impression. And I'm going to fill in my calendar by coloring in my days. I did the vertical days maybe a couple months ago and I really liked it, so I probably do more of that instead of just doing them at the top. And it really doesn't like do a whole lot for you. It's just something different. Now, I did mess this up. That wasn't supposed to be a block. It was supposed to be open. So I'll just put a cactus in there to go with the theme. No mistakes when you're being creative. Just happy little accidents. And now we're going on to the next page. I like to give myself one open spread every month just for whatever pops up. It could be maybe I had a memory, I took some pictures, or it could be for just extra planning space, or if I have any ideas that I want to jot down. So this month I just put this in here. I'm not sure that I'm actually learning anything this month. I just wanted to have some extra space for planning, for learning anything if I did. Like there's been a book that I want to read and I kind of was just like, if I do read it, this will be where I journal about it. And just to make sure that this page kind of goes in with it, I'm going to draw those little plants from the cover page just to kind of keep the theme going. Now we're going to get into my weekly spread. So this week I'm going to keep this just as simple as well. It's just going to be each day titled out or written out, and that's it. And then I'll have like a little bit of room at the bottom to do a little bit of artwork. Now this week my son said something that I thought was really, really cute. He likes to read nonfiction books, which good for him because I can't stand nonfiction books. They suck my attention. Like, so him being able to read these nonfiction books, more power to you, baby. But he was telling me about his favorite fish, and he was telling me that it's the cleaner fish. And I said, okay, like, why the cleaner fish? He said it's because they just like to stay clean. Okay, but I just thought it was so cute, and I just wanted to have that memory. So I actually wrote that out in my journal so that I would always remember that it was something that he said to me. And to do that, I'm just going to put a little bit of pink wash over here. It's not really deep in color or anything, just enough to put some color down and look different from the white that's on the page. Now, I did forget to record me drawing this fish. I had to look it up so that I could like give it a moderate shape, and that's it. And then I'm going to bring in some of the motif from the paper pad, which are just these dots and these lines that go with it. Now, I know a fish in the middle of these desert blooms probably doesn't make a lot of sense, but I'm not really hardcore on everything making sense in my journal. Like, it's not just about the theme, it's about how I can use it. It's about me. It's about what's going on in my life. So the fish is in the color scheme of the month, even though the fish itself doesn't match. Is that something that you might do? If it is, like, let me know in the comments, because again, I like the cactus and everything, but to me it's more important that I'm represented in my journal. I'm going to do these two little cacti over here, and then with that, that's the end. So let's get into my flip through for the month. This is the cover page. Here's that page that I glued to the back, and it's peeking through the little circle and the line that I cut out. Here is my calendar. I really like the way that my title came out. I'm not that good at brush lettering or being creative with it, so I feel like that's just a big step up for me in my art. Next, we're going over into my Let's Learn page. And this is just an open page for open journaling. I think the pink lines for the pages really do a lot to make this page come together, because I could have just left it blank, but I think the pink lines help it look a little more finished. And then my weekly for the month, I'll probably draw a little cactus or maybe like fishes. But if you got here with me, I appreciate it. I'll see you again next month, and go over and look at that other video about the Desert Blooms paper pad. I'll see you again. Bye, y'all.